Hello lovely people, it's Saturday, it's the 4th of July, happy Independence Day to those who celebrate it, and it's a miserable day for weather out here. Oh goodness, it's been wet and dark and blustery and horrible with a capital O. So I hope that your weather is treating you more kindly wherever you are, and I hope you're all keeping well. Thanks for all the comments, all the observations, all the questions. Given that the weather is so jolly unpleasant here this morning, had a bit of resistance from Madam about her morning walk. Put a bit of footage here. This refusal to move was before we'd even got off the drive onto the pavement. So, yeah, it wasn't a happy walk for someone. And whenever we come back from a soggy walk, the first thing she does is jump in my chair and roll around all over it. So I open the door, let her off the lead, and then shout, "Out of my chair!" She's a minx, that one. I hope you're all okay. I hope you're having a good weekend. I have been mostly knitting and sleeping. I was very tired yesterday. I went to bed quite early and slept well. I'd had a broken night the night before, so I slept well last night. But still was in the armchair, so around lunchtime had a little, I would call it a siesta. That it was early for a siesta, but a little nap. But I have been working on my sister's jacket, so we're cranking our way down the sleeve there. This afternoon himself's team has been playing footy, so I decided to keep out of the way. He won't want me snoring through that, and there's always a chance that I will be. So I came up to the office and I had a play on a toy that I got a little while ago, and I'm inspired by Aquila from the Left Knitter podcast on this, who for her birthday was bought a large knitting mill. She got the Big Addy, and I'd been kind of looking into these just out of curiosity. I don't expect it to take over my crafting life, but I do like a gadget, as we know, and I always like to try these things. Now the Addy is beautiful and lovely and priced accordingly. So the options are to go for that, and there are two sizes of the Addy. There's a giant one, which is what Aquila has, and there's also a little one. Or you can get what is basically cheap plastic tat from China. So I was having a look on all the, online sites and thinking, should I buy this? Should I get this? Should I not? And I then had a look at a review. There's a lady on YouTube who has a channel pretty much about these types of machines. And she was testing this one versus another sort of popular, because they all come through with different names, but they're all basically made in the same factory. They even have the same decoration on them. And she said that this one worked well. I mean, she did caveat it with, given the production methods, we can't be sure that the quality control is consistent. But she said this one worked pretty well. Also, the sizing of it worked pretty well. It has 40 needles, and that seemed to me to be a good size. A lot of them were a bit bigger, and I felt they might be producing, because all they produce is either a panel or a tube, and it's all to the same gauge. There's no subtlety in it. And I thought, oh well, that would be about the right sort of length, diameter for me, I think. There is always a possibility that I will suddenly find this is the love of my life, and I will then want to trade up to the Addy and get a really fancy one. But there's a more than even chance that won't happen. But I gave it a go this afternoon, and within an hour I made this hat. So it's some double knitting weight, just some DK weight from the stash. Just put it onto the tube, cranked it round and round, and there we go. So the simplest of hat designs, because all it is one long piece that I then cinched in the ends. and you fold one inside the other, and you have a very, very warm hat. So what I was thinking when I was buying this, because although it is a toy and I wanted to try it and I'm a kid, I do like to have a use for the things I get, even if it's a single use. And by single use, I don't mean I'll use it once and throw it away. I mean that I'll use it for the same thing. I thought for the hats for homeless people. So that's what we've got here. So it's not perfect. There's a few kind of slip stitches along the way, but it's holding up. And as a hat for a homeless person, I hope that it's warm and cosy. So, oh, hello, can't see. So yes, that's that. I'm not very good at modelling these things. Oh my good job I'm not wearing it. Yeah, so like I said, I made that within an hour. And that's what it is. It's machine knitted on a plastic toy hat. But, you know, does the trick. So I'm pleased with how this has happened. I did have a few sort of, when the thing arrived, I did have a few tries. And it takes a little while just to get it wound up. Not in my usual sense of wound up, but to get it wound onto the machine properly. Just a couple of attempts on that and it was fine. So yes, I shall make some hats for homeless people this winter in the hope that it keeps them warm. It's a small thing to do, but it's something. So, but apart from that, and yes, of course it's grey again because I'm not fed up with grey yarn yet. Because I have been working on the sleeve of my sister's jacket. But yeah, we're all good. So that's pretty much it for the day. Himself is cooking. We have a beef rogan josh in the slow cooker. Smells pretty good. As Tricia said, obviously I was cooking last night because I didn't tell you what we were having. It was a fairly simple pasta dish. So yes, I was cooking. How did you guess? And also one viewer, and forgive me because I can't remember who it was, asked to see a close-up of my knitting technique, such as it is. You probably know this story, I was taught by my left-handed mother, excuse me, I seem to be swallowing bits of hair, who was taught by her right-handed mother. So my technique is not perhaps the most efficient way of knitting, but it's been working for me for quite a few decades now, so I'm going to stick with it. So I will show you that at the end. The piece I'm working on is The Stillness by Elizabeth Sullivan, which is the piece I knit whilst I'm reading things aloud from my computer. And whilst I was doing that, I slowed down my knitting to be able to show you it, and I found that my words were slowing down too. So I found that an interesting thing. It's the old tapping your head and rubbing your tummy thing, isn't it? You can't do both. Yeah. So anyway, that is today, and I shall love you and leave you there, but have a good weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.